Welcome back to Digital Bytes. I'm your host, Ralph Franzio, the technical director of the digital experience team. In this episode, we're going to talk about a feature that we announced during launch day that's actually already available right now in Pure One. It's called Data Protection Assessment, and I think you're really going to like it. If I ask you this question, would you be able to answer it? How protected is your data? Seems like a simple question, but you'd be surprised at how many organizations simply cannot answer it. This feature of Pure One aims to answer that question. Okay, so accessing an assessment is very simple. You go to Dashboard and you simply click on Assessment. Once you're there, you're going to be greeted with a honeycomb grid. This honeycomb grid is assessing your data protection of your entire fleet. Each honeycomb represents an appliance, so it could be a flash array or a flash blade, and the color actually indicates something. The color actually indicates an assessment level, and with each assessment level, there's a recommendation to try to tell you exactly how well you're protected and what you could do to increase your assessment level from, let's say, caution to basic, or from basic to advanced. Okay, let's click on one of the objects to learn more. When you click on an object or appliance, a sidebar pops up with all the assessment details about that particular appliance. You can see this particular appliance has received a score of basic, but why? The appliance is protected with safe mode for ransomware remediation, and that's great. But if you look at the volume assessment below, we're only using snapshots for local protection, and we're not currently using any form of remote replication. Remote replication is critical in the event of a site failure or any other event that might prevent you from accessing data on your primary location. So this is something we might want to look into to increase our score and make sure we're more protected in the future. Something else I find extremely valuable is you can click on one of the other systems here, and this is actually a flash blade. So we've got file systems and we've got some buckets. Now you'll see I have safe mode enabled on the file system side, but it's disabled on the bucket side. And it actually does tell me that the capacity is above 70% where safe mode is disabled. So the recommendation is that I expand the capacity. And you can go through the simulation effort to do that to put you in a better capacity situation if you want to enable safe mode. Let's just assume we've already done that. So it does say safe mode settings are not optimal. So of course, the reason why is because it's not turned on, but let's assume we already done the capacity expansion. We can click on request safe mode and we can actually schedule time to have safe mode turned on straight from this interface. We pick a time that's convenient for us. That's really cool, and it's super fast and convenient. Let's look at a system that's in green status or advanced. Now the advanced assessment means that I've got safe mode enabled, and I also am using all of the data protection technologies. So I'm using snapshots. I have 100% of my volumes basically protected there, and I'm using replication, and I've got 100% of my volumes protected there. This is a perfect example of someone that's using the technology to the best of their ability. This can give you that indication so you can tell by the colors where you're at. And hopefully what you'll do is use this assessment to assess where you have exposures and increase your level of data protection. Now let's go back to the main screen because I want to show you two more things. Okay, we're rounding the corner now. What if I want to look at my whole entire environment and just get some quick insights without clicking on a specific appliance? You can do that here in the main screen. And on the left, you can see your snapshot and replication protection, as well as specific protection insights. So these are recommendations if you want to enable certain features. Like, so for instance, this says that capacity is above 70% where safe mode is disabled. So it's recommending that you expand capacity on those appliances, and you can click on these check boxes and it will actually start modeling that out for you. And you can even make a purchase as a service through our marketplace. If you look below, it says these appliances score low in local snapshot and replication, and you can click to review those particular appliances. Also on the left, you can look at the overall status of your local protection or local snapshots. You're going to see there's three categories. Review required means that no snapshots have been created in the last 24 hours with a retention of a day or more. Good means that snapshots have been created in the last 24 hours. However, the retention policy could use some improvements. And then best would mean that snapshots were created in the last 24 hours and the retention requirements have been met. Now, as far as replication goes, you can also see where you need review and where you have best practices. Review would mean that no snapshots have been created in the last 24 hours with a retention of 7 days or longer. And best means that snapshots were created in the last 24 hours and then the retention requirements have been met. As you can see, the data protection assessment has really evolved. It's become a one-stop shop to see how well is my data protected. You can see exposure points, and it gives you a pathway to improve your data protection. So if you are unfortunately the victim of a ransomware attack, or you have data that's unavailable for whatever reason, you know that you're protected locally, remotely, and from ransomware attacks. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the Pure Storage YouTube channel. Put your comments below. I want to hear from you. And that's it for now. We will see you on the next one.